Hi guys, welcome back to Nico Talks Hockey. This is the big video. This is the culmination of all my player ranking videos. We covered goalies, we covered defensemen, we covered wingers, and we covered centers. And now it's time to determine who are the top 25 players in the entire National Hockey League. So without further ado, let's get into it. Again, just like all my previous rankings, it's kind of a 3-year sample size. The past 3 seasons, taking all that into account, with the most recent season being the one that holds the most weight when going and factoring into these rankings. But yeah, let's just get right into it. At number 25, who made the cut, right? At number 25 is Roman Josi of the Nashville Predators. He's in the top 5 of my defenseman rankings. I can't not have him here. He's been too good for too long. Now, he'd have to have another regressive season to not make the cut here. But no, Roman Josi makes the cut at number 25. At number 24, Braden Point. He's a top 10 center for a reason. He's a 2-time Stanley Cup champion. He's in my rankings, I had him I think ranked 10 in my centers rankings. He comes in at number 24. At number 23, Sergei Bobrovsky, another 2-time Stanley Cup champion. It may be 3, but he's at least a 2-time Vezina winner as well. Sergei Bobrovsky is living his best life right now. He won the Vezinas, but people didn't talk about him as though he would go down as, a Hall of Fame goalie, or, he wasn't ever talked about in the same vein and the same conversations as some of these insane goalies. And now he is, and I'm really happy for him because he's a great guy by all accounts, at least what I see of him. And he comes in at number 23. At number 22, Sam Reinhart. Sam Reinhart, he made the top 20 wingers list. I think he came in at 6th. So you can kind of see how many from each position made it here. I didn't have many goalies. I think when you look at the goalies list here, I only had 5 defensemen make the top 25. I only had 6 wingers make it. Centers, I think, is one of the hardest positions, if not the hardest position in all of hockey. So I had a fair amount make it. I had 10 centers make it. But goalies, I think I only had like 3 or 4. We'll see. As I keep going along, we'll see how many goalies rack up here. But Reinhart just has proven himself to be one of the best goal scorers in the game. He comes in at number 22. At number 21, Andrei Vasilevsky of the Tampa Bay Lightning. I still think that he's a better goalie than Bobrovsky. Not because, this is not disparaging Bobrovsky. They're both 2-time Stanley Cup champions. I just think Vasilevsky, I like his technical game better. I think that they're both, have proven that when it comes to it, when, all the chips are in, that both can be extremely clutch for their team. They both are goalies that, if you pulled all the players in the league, I think Vasilevsky is still like the goalie that most people say is like, that's the goalie I'd want for my team in like a Game 7 scenario. But again, it's only marginally better than Bobrovsky. Please don't take it too seriously. He comes in at number 21. At number 20, a player that I think the world of. It's Sebastian Aho. He comes in at number 20. I talked about him in the centers video, but I think the world of Sebastian Aho. I think that he is just a model center, and he plays the game so well, and obviously elevates his game come playoff time. I could absolutely see him becoming captain one day of the Carolina Hurricanes. Coming in at number 19, I have Connor Hellebuyck of the Winnipeg Jets. He's my second best ranked goalie. So, it goes to show that although I think the world of these goalies, I also think that when you're evaluating all these positions and you have them in the rankings, because the goalie position is so volatile, I tend to rank it just a little bit lower compared to the best defenseman or the best forwards in the game. But that being said, Connor Hellebuyck, back-to-back Vezina winner. I really, really wish that he had more team success. I'd love to see him one day get a cup, and I want it with the Winnipeg Jets. That would be awesome for Winnipeg. You know, the team with one of the smallest markets, and it's a team destination that a lot of players don't always want to go to. But so that would be so cool to see if they were to one day win it all and bring a cup to Winnipeg. Moving on to number 18, I have Matthew Tkachuk. Got to put him here. You got to make him, you know, he's definitely in the top 25 players. He's so effective at being Matthew Tkachuk. He's such a pest, but he's not, you know, just a pest. He's a, you know, he's a elite winger. He was the catalyst to turn the Florida Panthers from a really good team into a Stanley Cup winning team. Yeah, he comes in at number 18. At number 17, I hope this doesn't make too many people upset. I have Sidney Crosby. I don't think he's a top 10 player anymore, but he's a top 20 player still. So I still think the world of Crosby. He's still just, you know, killing it. Obviously, he's on one of the worst teams in the league. I think they're only going to get worse from here, but that should be good news to Penguins fans. They need a rebuild. What I love, I think, about Crosby the most these days is, yeah, like all the records are unbelievable, all the point totals, and just how much he's done for the game, but who he is as a person. Like, I keep hearing stories about all these, you know, behind the scenes things that don't always, you know, make the front page, but he's just such a good guy. Like, he helps out his community. He's so charitable. He's and what he's done to help bring attention, not only attention to the game of hockey, but to bring you know, the next generation of hockey fans up, and looking to him as inspiration is just so remarkable. Crosby, still awesome, number 17. At number 16, a defenseman who's taken a bit of criticism this past year, especially when he was at the Four Nations. His team obviously didn't make the playoffs. It's Adam Fox of the New York Rangers. I still think very, very highly of Adam Fox. He would have to have a pretty bad season this upcoming season for me to you know, for him to not make the top 25. I still think he's a top 4 top 4 defenseman. Adam Fox is still elite at number 16. At number 15, just one ahead of him. Out of all the best 25 players in the world, I think this player is only one ahead of him. It's Rasmus Dahlin. It's that close. I think that Rasmus Dahlin's been so, you know, his ability to be responsible defensively while also impacting the game at such an offensive level is on a team like the Buffalo Sabres. That's what gets me so that's why I'm so high on Rasmus Dahlin, and it's why I have him as the 3rd best defenseman. So yeah, I have him at number 15. Moving on, Jack Hughes at number 14. I talked about it before, but yeah, he'd be even higher. He'd be in the top 10 if it wasn't for injuries. I know it. He's that good. I do have to take injuries into account. If he can next season just have like a 80 to 82 game season where he just plays nearly or every single game and is Jack Hughes level, you know, killing it, goes to the playoffs, has a decent playoffs, doesn't have to win the cup, but like, he will rocket up these rankings and enter the top 10. So I do think very highly of Jack Hughes. Number 13, it's Mikko Rantanen of the Dallas Stars. I want to hear from Avalanche fans. You know, like, tell me in the comments, if you're an Avalanche fan, you're watching this video, tell me in the comments what you think about the whole Colorado Avalanche situation with Mikko Rantanen. Obviously, I know that you still think the world of him, right? But tell me, do you think it's worth it in the long run to not have his high cap hit, and you're able to spend that money on different positions, you know, positions down the lineup, second line center? Now they've got, you know, Nelson. Is that better for the Avalanche as a team? Let me know. But yeah, no, Rantanen is one of the best wingers in the game. I have him ranked as the 4th best winger, and he comes in at number 13. Moving on to number 12, I've got Jack Eichel of the Vegas Golden Knights. He just misses the top 10. I think this is pretty fair. He's one of the best centers in the game. I think I've ranked him 6th, and he comes at number 12 as an overall player. What's there to say that hasn't been said? Jack Eichel is just a phenomenal player. There's a reason he's a Stanley Cup champion. He'll probably get more. Jack Eichel is insane. He doesn't put up the most insane point totals. That's probably what keeps him from that top 5 center. Just level. But Eichel deserves all the respect and then some put on his name. Moving on to the last player I have outside the top 10. It's the last goalie on this list. I didn't put any goalies in the top 10. And number 11 is Igor Shesterkin. Shesterkin, I think, is the best goalie. I think he balances very, very high play in the regular season with great play in the postseason. It's the one thing that keeps Connor Hellebuck back from being my personally ranked number 1 goalie. Shesterkin is the cream of the crop right now for goalies. I don't think there's a better goalie in the game currently. He shows year in, year out, he is the best. So this is it, the top 10. These are the best, in my opinion, the best hockey players on the planet. And they prove year in, year out that they deserve to be here. At number 10, I have David Pastrnak of the Boston Bruins. He does it all. He does it even when he's got no true line mates to play with. He does it. I'm sure he'll do it next season when he doesn't have Marchand there anymore. He's still got Lindholm as his number 1 center. It doesn't matter. Pastrnak, he drives play like a center, and he comes in at number 10. At number 9, my 2nd ranked defenseman, it's Quinn Hughes. He could I could see him reaching higher heights. He could usurp Cale Makar one day as the true best defenseman in the modern day. Now, obviously, I have Cale Makar ranked ahead of him, but Quinn Hughes and what he's able to do, as long as he's healthy next season, I'm going to say the Vancouver Canucks make playoffs. I think they rebound as long as they can get Quinn Hughes fully healthy. I know that he was playing through injuries last season. If he can be fully healthy, he's going to will that team to playoffs. Excuse me. At number 8, I have Nikita Kucherov of the Tampa Bay Lightning. Now, some people think so highly of Kucherov. They think maybe he's 2nd or 3rd best player in the whole league. I obviously don't agree, but I think that Kucherov is just, I was going to say he's a modern day Datsuk. He's better than Datsuk. He's like the best Russian player, one of the best Russian players. I'm not going to say the best. That would be a little sacrilege. But he's one of the best Russian players we've ever seen in the game. And he's one of just the best players, flat out, that we've ever seen in the game. He's so creative. His ability to dominate play and create plays is wizardry. And he comes in at number 8. At number 7, Alexander Barkov of the Florida Panthers. He's the best defensive forward in the game, and for that he gets incredibly high ranking. If you want a forward out there to shut down your top guy, you want him to shut down McDavid. He's done it twice. He's done it in back-to-back years. Barkov is my GOAT. I love Barkov so much. He comes in at number 7. At number 6, I have Austin Matthews. He doesn't make the top 5. If, I've talked about this before, but his goal scoring is unbelievable. It is off the charts. And his defensive game is unbelievable. He should be a clear top 5. Just has got to figure out his playoff game. He's just got to figure out games like 5 through 7 in the playoffs, show up and consistently show up. Once he does that, every year he'll be top 5 till he's 38. Moving on to number 5, I revealed in my winger video, a top 20 wingers video, that he's my favorite. Well, he's the best winger in my opinion. He comes at number 5. It's Kirill Kaprizov of the Minnesota Wild. Kaprizov, I think, is the best winger in the NHL today. I think that Minnesota Wild's lack of really good forwards kind of hides and kind of cloaks how good Kaprizov is. I think that if he had a little bit more support there, he would reach even higher point totals, and everyone would start realizing that he deserves to be in these talks, that he is, in my opinion, the best, the winger in the entire game. He comes in at number 5. At number 4, Leon Draisaitl of the Edmonton Oilers. He comes in at number 4. Some people would say that, maybe he deserves to be second. Maybe the Oilers have the top 2 players in the whole league. I don't think so, but I think that Draisaitl, I'm not someone who's going to say that Draisaitl is a McDavid merchant. Absolutely not. Draisaitl is one of the best goal scorers in the game. He's one of the best passers in the game. He's one of the best players in the game. He comes in at number 4 of the top 25 best players in the NHL. At number 3, the best defenseman in the entire NHL is Cale Makar. So the Oilers have 2 players in the top 25. They have 2 players in the top 4. The Colorado Avalanche have 2 players in the top 3. Because at number 2 is Nathan MacKinnon. So Cale Makar, Nathan MacKinnon, it's a center defenseman duo that's already led to 1 cup. I firmly believe that they're going to win more cups with that duo. It is, who would you rather have? Tell me in the comments if you'd rather have McDavid and Draisaitl, or would you rather have MacKinnon and Makar? Would you rather have a 1-2 center punch that's the best in the league, or would you rather have the number 1 center and the number 1 defenseman? Because I think it's a great debate to have. And at number 1 is Connor McDavid. I think the world of Nathan MacKinnon, obviously, because I have him at number 2. I think that he is not too far off. Might be a little blasphemous to say, but I don't think he's too far off from that number 1 spot. But at number 1 is Connor McDavid, because he's the best player on the planet. He does everything at the highest level. He's got the highest skill. He's got the highest skating. He's got the highest speed. He's got the highest level of hockey IQ. He thinks the game at the best level. He is the best player in the game, and I can't wait until he gets to lift Lord Stanley above his head. So that's it. That's my top 25 list. That's the best 25 players in the league. Thank you so much for watching. That has been all my rankings for the player positions. I will still be coming out with rankings on my top 10 coaches and my top 10 general managers in the league. But yeah, again, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you could like and subscribe, that would mean a ton to me. And I will see you guys in the next video.